morning, everyone. Hope you all are doing great, and I truly wish your day has started with positivity, calmness, and a little spark of motivation to keep moving forward. Thank you so much for joining me again on this beautiful morning because every time you click on my video, it feels like we are sitting together, opening our notebooks, and studying side by side as one small but strong learning family. And yeah, morning are so special. They give us a fresh chance to reset our minds, forget yesterday's stress, and focus on what we can build today. And today, just like every day, I want you to believe that your goals are possible, your dreams are valid, and your efforts, no matter how small, are leading you towards success. Whether you are preparing for CTET like me, studying school or subjects, or simply trying to build a consistent study routine, remember that growth happens slowly but beautifully, and discipline is something we create day by day. So let's take a deep breath, relax our mind, and let's begin this morning with dedication, gratitude, and a feelings of purpose. And yeah, I'm so happy that you are here, taking time for yourself, choosing to learn, choosing to grow, and choosing to be the best version of who you want to become. So yeah. Firstly, I'm revising my CTET book because I always believe that revising from the main source is the strongest way to build a clear foundation. So I start by slowly reading each page, understanding every concept, and writing important points in my notebook. Since writing helps me remember everything more deeply as I go through the CTET book, I highlight key ideas, teaching strategies, and child development concepts that I want to keep fresh in my mind. And this entire process helps me to stay organized and confident in my preparation. I like beginning my study session this way because it gives me a calm start, sets the tone for the day, and reminds me of the area I need to revise again. After revising a few pages from my CTET book, I will slowly shift to NCERT Science Class 6, where today I am focusing on the chapter food. Where does it come from? For my revision, I open my notebook and start writing the main points: plant source of food, animal source of food, edible plant parts, ingredients, and the food habits of animals. Because writing each concept in my words not only improves my memory but also prepares me to explain it easily whenever I become a teacher in future. I continue revising my reading, the example, listening all the edible parts of plants, and connecting it with a real life situation, imagining how I would teach this idea to children in a simple, interesting way. This method of revising my CTET book first and then writing NCERT notes helps me stay consistent, improves my understanding, and brings me one step closer to my dream of becoming a dedicated and a confident teacher. I start by revising the basic science concept from the CTET book and NCERT book because NCERT forms the backbone of CTET science, and understanding these chapters in detail helps me answer both content and pedagogy questions easily. I slowly go through each topic, highlight important lines, and rewrite all the key points in my own words because writing helps me remember better and keeps my mind active throughout the process. While preparing CTET science today, I also focus on connecting each concept with real life example, thinking about how I will explain the same topic to students in a simple and interesting way in the future. Whether it is food, living organisms, materials, energy, or environmental concept, I make sure I understand not only the definition but also the logic behind them because CTET always checks conceptual clarity more than memorization. I revise diagrams, examples, and all small details that often appear in the exam, and I keep reminding myself to stay calm, consistent, and confident. As only 2 months are left for the CTET exam, I am trying to become even more focused and disciplined in my preparation because this is the time when every single day matters and every hour I study brings me one step closer to achieving my dreams. With just 60 days remaining, I have divided my preparation into small manageable goals so that I can revise all the important topics without feeling overwhelmed. I start my day by going through the CTET book, reading each topic carefully, and making short notes that I can revise quickly later. Then I revise NCERT Class 6 Science, and because NCERT is the heart of CTET content question, especially in the science section. I also dedicated time to child development and pedagogy every day because CDP carries a lot of weight and requires regular revision to build strong conceptual clarity. With only 2 months left, I have become, or I'm trying to become, more disciplined. After studying, I also remind myself how important rest is and the warmth of the sun are for a fresh mind and a healthy routine. So I took a break, stepped to outside, breathe in the fresh morning air and enjoy a few moments under the gentle sunlight. And after rest, I came back to study. And then the first things I do is start writing everything I have studied because writing helps me understand the concepts more deeply and remember them for a longer time. I open my notebook, pick up my pen, and slowly rewrite all the important points from today's preparation, whether it's science or concept from NCERT or small notes from my CTET book. When I write, I feel more connected with my studies, as if each word I put on my paper strengthened my memories and built my confidence step by step. This habit of writing after a short rest keeps my mind active, makes my revision stronger, and helps me track what I have completed so far. I summarize the main idea, highlight keywords, and create a table whenever necessary because visual notes helps me revise faster later. Coming back to study after rest always feels refreshing, and writing what I have learned gives a sense of completion and clarity. This routine, study, rest, write, revise, keeps me consistent and motivated on my seated journey, reminding me that slowly, steady, and focused effort will take me closer to my dream of becoming a teacher. So, thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me today and for joining me in this quite peaceful study session. Your support truly means a lot and it motivates me to keep creating more study vlog and seated preparation video for all of us who are working hard towards our dream. I hope today's video brought you a little motivation, a little calmness, and a reminder that consistency matters more than perfection. If you find this helpful, do not forget to stay connected, keep studying, keep believing in yourself, and remember that every small step you take is bring you closer to your goals. Thank you once again for watching, for supporting, and for being a part of this growing learning family. Take care, stay positive, and I will meet you again in the next video. Thank you.